What is up, YouTube? So today I have a little bit of a build for you guys. This is a paludarium for my tree frogs, in which I did not have a plan for, so it's gonna be hard to explain exactly what I did since I myself had no idea what I was doing. I was just kind of putting things together and hoping that it looked nice, and it kind of did. So first thing we got is this black craft foam. This is a little bit flimsy. If I were to do this again, I'd probably order something a little thicker. I also got this black mesh. You can kind of see that I made a hole out of the black foam and sort of put that in there. It's going to be used for the filtration system that is built into the tank. So a lot of this is just cutting up a bunch of stuff. These are plastic rods to support the entire structure since it is a little bit flimsy. And now you can see me here putting on some black silicone all throughout the structure. I also use hot glue to put it together, like really quickly at first, and then sealed it all with the silicone. In the back you can see the pump. This is the entire river system, which I put silicone all throughout and kind of dusted it with this white sand and rocks to hold that stuff in place. Here's a little lid in which I put on top. I was going to put a fog system coming out the back end, but it just didn't work out as well as I thought. You can kind of see the whole build here. All these structures inside the middle is just filler, so that's just kind of random, so don't pay any attention to that. Here's some black lava rocks in which I am just rinsing out all this dirt and debris before realizing that I had way too little and I had to fill the entire setup with a bunch of random stuff that I had laying around. So here's me putting that in, and soon to come I am noticing that I don't have enough at all. So you can kind of see the whole setup here and the structure before I start piling stuff on. This is the filtration system I was talking about. So I have a cutout coconut sheet, which I'm just placing right behind that mesh. So the water, here you go, is in the front. This is the sand I'm using as a substrate for the water portion of the tank. And so the water would flow back past all the rocks, past that coconut fiber, be filtered out, enter the back of the tank, and then pumped out into that sort of fake river that I made throughout the middle of the tank. So here's what that looks like. I put a few slate rocks you can kind of see over this stuff so it doesn't clearly show that it's a filter system. So I tried to hide that as best as I could. You can kind of see me just placing these rocks right where I want it to be and sort of making this look a little more natural. And here we are adding the water to the tank, using the foam to sort of cushion the water from messing up any of the carefully placed rocks that I put inside the water area. So here's what it looks like with everything turned on. I put a little giant rock in the middle of the tank, so everything's working great. You can kind of see the fogger in the back not working at all since I made that sort of structure too tall. So here's the water area. I got the rocks placed in right where I want it to be. I got the sand. We got the river flowing. The water goes right to the back, past all the filtration, and then back out to the river. Here is the terrarium moss. It's sphagnum moss, just dried green moss, which I'm placing all over the place. So I wanted this tank to be a little higher, which I upgraded later on, but for now it's kind of is like the temporary setup. You can kind of see that the river is way too high for some reason. Here's a fake fern as well as some tiny ornaments placed throughout the tank to make it look pretty slick, I'd say. And everything's coming along really nicely, except it's looking a bit empty. So I don't know if I'll show you just in a little bit here that I ended up placing a bunch of black foam in the background to sort of not make it look like it's so empty. I'll probably get some sort of a better background at some point. So yeah, the setup is pretty much done. Here are my tree frogs being introduced to their new home. One is on top of the ornament, and some are failed climbers, you'll soon see. I'll probably be adding some branches and some sticks, a few other things for them to climb on that might be easier to climb than just slippery glass and a few fake plants. I do want to add real plants at some point, but for now, this will do just fine. They seem to be loving their new home, as you can kind of see them explore about and whatnot. They don't really use the water feature, but I'm sure they will at some point once they get more comfortable with it. So yeah, that is the entire tank build. You can kind of see the foam in the back. I added some water floating plants in the water portion, as well as a baby guppy in which just got born from my guppy tank, and I don't want it to get eaten by the adults, so I placed it here with the frogs. Probably going to be eaten by the frogs maybe, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that that video and tutorial. I hope it helped if there's anyone out there trying to build their own. Yeah, not much else to say. This is the setup. I'll probably upgrade and do more stuff. Peace.